You're listening to The CEOs, brought to you by the University of Alberta on the Chorus Radio Network.
And my guest on today's CEOs is Christine McIver, the founder of Kids Cancer Care Foundation. Well, we've learned about her young son, Derek, who was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor in 1986, passed away in 1991. Through that period, though, Christine knew there had to be something more for young children, their families who were going through a similar battle. And she had sent her son to a camp, a cancer camp on the Sunshine Coast, and right away said, this is what we need in Alberta. Christine, at the time, nothing in our province similar to this.
No, not at all. And just prior to that, I mean, the way he got out there was with the Canadian Cancer Society. And so I went to talk to them and say, hey, can we do something like this in Alberta? And sure enough, they were seriously considering doing that here. So it was under their auspices that I started the programs and then really focused on expanding services for children with cancer. They were very focused on adults and do a real good job there, but more needed to be done overall for all children and all of the diseases all the types of childhood cancer that they get, but also research and in-hospital programs, and there was just so many more things that we could do, so that's why I branched off at the time.
Christine, though, you are a mom who is doing this. You're coming to the Canadian Cancer Society saying, I think there has to be a camp, and they say, great idea, run with it?
Yeah, well, you know what? There was lots of support there too, absolutely, and they were focused on that the patients, or in this case, the patient's parents, know best, and so they really wanted that kind of input into it. But it wasn't until after I registered as a charity and they started funding me as an outside agency that things really started to take off, and I discovered just how incredibly over my head I really was.
You were a charity, a small charity. Were you, in those early days, operating just out of your basement with some other volunteers who had a similar passion?
That's exactly it. It was other parents. The board of directors was made up of a lawyer and an accountant that I'd gone to school with since grade 1. There was our doctor and a nurse, and we had just a full board that, of course, any charity needs to have that. And they were not only board members, they were volunteers, and they worked hard.
What period is this? Because Derek is still alive while this dream is formulating? No,
this was just before he passed away. Just before the first camp that I put on with in concert with the Canadian Cancer Society. So I founded the Kids Cancer Camps of Alberta in 1994. So this was 3 years after I had lost Derek, and so I quit my full-time job and said, you know what, this is what I just need to do, and. Just about, lost the house, lost my car, put everything I could into this, and still we started to make a little bit of surplus that I could actually take a salary that I was able to survive a little bit better.
Christine, at what point, a backstory here, when you were just a small little organization working out of your basement trying to find the right people for your group, I know here at our radio station, our Calgary Children's Foundation, we worked closely with you because our foundation looks at those small charities that don't get the exposure or the funding that they necessarily need. You quickly took up a few more steps there and became a much bigger foundation. How did that all evolve?
Well, definitely one step at a time. I remember that well, coming in to see the Calgary Children's Foundation to ask for $5,000. It was the biggest grant ask I had done, and having had to learn how to ask for money, I got adept at it very quickly. And I thought I had bombed. I thought that they were going to turn me down. And Dave Rutherford phoned me and said, you know what, we're not giving you any money. We're not giving you $5,000. We're giving you $10,000 because you've really convinced us that what you're doing is really a substantial program and you need the money, quite frankly. And that was the turning point. I knew that in 1994 we were actually going to have camps that summer because of that influx of money. So whenever I see Dave, we always, we sometimes just a little nudge and a little wink about how incredible that was. That was really a transformational gift that I got at that time. But since that time, we've gone on to so many more gifts, and because we're still very much a grassroots organization, I don't care the amount of gift. If it's $10 or $1 million, it still means as much to me as anything in between, as long as it's given with a good heart.